Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kayla, if you don't know. So today, since the holiday season's kind of crept up a little too fast, we're going to be changing it up a bit. Not too much because it's still bacon, but we're gonna go ahead and be making sugar cookies today. With that being said, pretty simple recipe. It's just gonna take a little more time than we're used to, mainly for the chilling the cookies part. I know that we haven't done another cookie recipe other than the Halloween ones we did, but it's important that we chill the cookies today so that they don't rise too much and expand. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This recipe does make anywhere between 12 to 24 cookies depending on how thick and how big you make them. If you really wanted to make it that big, you could just do one giant cookie, but I think you'll have plenty of dough. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is not preheat our oven. Since we're going to be waiting 2 hours for those cookies dough to chill, we're going to leave that alone for now. And we'll preheat it once we get the cookie dough out of the oven and we start cutting it. For now though, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so first off, we're going to be adding 1 cup of sugar right inside like that. Get it all in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and take 1 egg and we're gonna pop it right in. A lot of recipes will tell you to cream the butter and sugar together. I personally think it's better to do the egg and sugar first and then add the butter later, once the mixture is a little fluffier. So we're gonna mix this for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and once we do that, we'll add our softened butter after. So we'll be right back with that. Okay, so after this is all done mixing, we're gonna go ahead and add butter. It has to be softened. I messed it up the second time I made this recipe. I added cold butter. I added cold butter instead of room temp, and I also didn't add as much as I should have. So the cookie dough, after being chilled, ended up really hard and was very hard to roll out. So please don't make this mistake. It's 1 full cup of butter, room temperature. I like to cube it so it mixes up a little better. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and add that in right now. Okay. Once you've added that in, go ahead and give it another mix until it's well mixed and it looks fluffy. Okay, so now that the dough is pretty fluffy now, we're gonna go ahead and add our next few ingredients. Again, this recipe is super easy. There's not a lot of ingredients to go in it. So far we have something that looks like this. It's starting to kind of look like a dough. It's starting to kind of look like a dough, but we're almost there. Next, I know you can't really see it, 3/8 teaspoon, yes, because it's a tasty spoon. No, teaspoons of vanilla. We're gonna add that right in, and then we're gonna also add 1/8 teaspoon of salt. That's a very big dish for a little bit of salt, I am sorry. And we're gonna mix. Mixy mix mix. Okay, so now that it's mixed a little bit more, we have it right here. We're gonna go ahead and unlock it and bring it up. Still all fluffy duffy. And we're gonna go ahead and add some baking powder. We're gonna go ahead and add 3/8 teaspoon of the baking powder as well. So let's go ahead and just do that real quick. We're gonna need 2.5 cups of flour. Again, I'm using Red Mills 1-in-1 just because that is the better flour to use in my opinion. It acts like the regular flour you would find in your regular grocery store. Just again, gluten-free. So we're gonna go ahead and add 2.5 cups. So let's go ahead and do that. And I would add a little bit at a time just so you don't have a giant cloud of flour smacking you in the face. So go ahead and let's start mixing the mixture. And I'll be right back once it's done. Okay, so now that it's all mixed up, we should have our dough. It should be nice and fluffy. It shouldn't be too stiff. It shouldn't be too hard. It may be a little sticky. That is what I will warn you about right now. And that's okay. That's how it should be. And when we put it in the fridge for the 2 hours, It should help it a little bit, but prepare to use more flour. So just have extra just in case, so that when you do start rolling out the cookie dough, it's not a bigger mess than it needs to be. For now, we're gonna take some plastic wrap. I split my dough up into 2 separate things because it's just, it'll chill better that way. So we're gonna take that and put it on the counter, kind of spread it out, and then get your second piece as well, because again, we're splitting it into 2. Plus that way you're not overwhelming yourself when you're rolling out cookie dough later, because I will tell you right now, that is not a fun time. So do that. We're gonna move these over, just like so. And then we're just gonna grab a spoon. So let me do that. So you're gonna grab a spoon, this beautiful spoon, and just start kind of scooping out the cookie dough onto the surface, like this. And just do about half of the dough in each kind of plastic wrap so that it doesn't overfill. We're just going to kind of flatten it down. Do that and go ahead and fold the plastic wrap. Here, let me move it. I'm still trying to get used to where to put the camera, guys, so bear with me. Just fold up the dough, make sure that there's no little open edges. If you have to kind of fold it a few times to figure out how to do that, go ahead, just like that. Go ahead and make sure it's flat. It doesn't have to be a perfect square, perfect round, circle or anything. Just needs to be flat like that, so you can easily just flop it in the fridge and voila. You can stack these on top of each other. It's not going to affect anything. But yeah, I'm gonna put the rest of this dough in the second piece of, what was this called again? Plastic wrap. I'm losing my mind apparently. That's what the holidays does to you. Yeah, so we're gonna take the rest of the dough, put it in the second plastic wrap, and then I'm gonna throw these in the fridge for 2 hours. Once we're done, I will show you what to do next. And we'll roll out the cookie dough as well. So we'll be right back, and yeah. Okay, so now that our dough has been chilling, it should be kind of tough. As you can see, it's a little harder to press down. We're gonna unwrap it, but first make sure to, whatever surface you're going to be rolling your dough out, put it on the counter. I go counter, or I have this silicone mat that I use. So much easier. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to flour that surface and start rolling out the dough. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and flour our surface. I am using a silicone mat to roll out my dough today. Ignore my M&M's container I have my flour in. And then we're going to go ahead and take our rolling pin. I have this one that has detachable sizes to determine the cookie size that you're going to want it, the thickness. So we're going to go ahead and take some flour with that. And we're going to flour the actual rolling pin itself. This way the cookie dough doesn't stick as much to the rolling pin. And we're just going to kind of roll it in more of the flour. I don't want to waste more. And then we're going to go ahead and take our cookie dough. We're going to go ahead and unwrap it. If it starts to crumble, don't worry, it's okay. So we're just going to go ahead and unwrap it all the way. Try and get it out of there with no plastic. And you're just going to kind of try and press down. Don't worry, it's going to be a little hard to roll out at first, just because we did just take it out of the fridge, but that's okay. Just kind of press it down, try and roll it out as best as you can to a thin thickness so that we can have a bunch of cookies that are thin and delicious. We're going to put some more flour on our rolling pin and keep on rolling it out. Don't worry too much if it's not perfect. We're going to cover these cookies in frosting anyways, so it's okay. Alrighty, so just roll it all together. And then we're gonna go ahead, don't worry if some of the dough sticks to your rolling pin, it's okay, just take it off and throw it onto the side. We'll use that still, it's still good to use. Just pick it off and keep rolling. So what I'm gonna do is just pat it down, make sure it's a flat surface, ignoring this top part. Flat surface, and we're gonna go ahead and start grabbing our cookie cutters. I have a snowman, gingerbread man. We have a few others too we'll be using today. We'll go ahead and show those in just a second. Yeah, like trees. You're gonna want to go ahead and optimize this by space as best as you can, so that way you don't have to worry too much about continuously re-rolling the dough. You're just trying to optimize the space. So you have them all flat onto the surface. So now that they're all pressed down, we're going to go ahead and get a cookie sheet with parchment paper and spray it with some light like cooking spray, and then we're going to go ahead and take off the excess cookie dough that are on the sides of our cookie cutters, and we're going to put those aside to roll out later. So just go ahead and move them around, and you can use a spatula to get these off of the mat. I am just very gentle and put it in my hand and press down on the sides just to get the dough off of those cookie cutters. And look, we got a little tree. You're going to go ahead and do this for all of them. Some are going to be easier to get out than others. If it's a little hard to get out and you ruin it, it's okay. You can either re-roll it or have a unique cookie. Either way, it works out. So again, put this excess dough to the side, and we're going to go ahead and just keep doing this, and I'll be right back once we're done. So again, just keep rolling them out and you're all good. So now that the cookies are done, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to decorate. So we're going to go ahead and take our piping bags. I'm going to use the green first. I just think it's easier to outline the bigger portions first. So I'm going to go ahead and outline around the tree. I know you can't really see it. We'll move the cookie in just a second. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to kind of work with it in just a second. So here's the outline. As you can see, again, not perfect. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and just fill it in. I like to just kind of glop it on there, just so that when you spread it out, like you have enough to cover all the areas, just like so. I'm using a piping bag right now just because it gives the tree a little more texture, because as we know, trees are not smooth. They're definitely full of leaves and branches, so they're going to be a little, you know, puffy and not perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and take our brown frosting, and we're just going to frost the little bottom of the tree, like so. And now you have a frosted cookie. You can also add sprinkles and it'll make it even more delicious. It's up to you. We're gonna go ahead and decorate the rest of the cookies and we'll be right back. Okay guys, I just got finished decorating 2 hours later. I got a little carried away, but that is okay, because look, we got cookies. I'm afraid to tip them over, but like, we got a little snowman. I just kind of plated the snowman ones because my other ones are still drying, but I love these ones. They're so cute and they're just colorful, and it's fun to just kind of decorate. And this is something fun you can do with the family, with your friends. It's something you can do with kind of everyone. My family personally does like little cookie decorating contests every once in a while for the holidays, and so I'm hoping we do another one because we got our skills back up. So that's gonna be it for today's video though. Other than that though, I will be posting again after the new year, so although I hate this joke, I will see you guys in the new year. See you guys next year. Wow, 2022, here we come. Cheers everyone, have a good day, bye.